Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for a Wednesday edition of the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk all things Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini, and today's report includes the Penguins continue to slide as their losing streak reaches 6 games, Marc-Andre Fleury receives a heart-touching send-off in Pittsburgh, and these 4 names will officially be back for the Steelers in Week 10. As always, please be sure to like, comment, and share this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into the first news story of the day. The Penguins continue to slide as their losing streak reaches 6 games. It feels like there is no end in sight for this losing streak, as last night the Pittsburgh Penguins were defeated by the Minnesota Wild 5-3. I'm going to break down this game into 2 segments. Starting with the game, it followed the same script that we've seen too many times this year. In almost all of their games this year, if the Pens don't come out of the gates flat-footed, they get out to an early 2-goal lead. After getting those 2 goals, things go downhill from there. Yep, the Pens once again blew a 2-goal lead, but in this game they did it in the short time of just under 2.5 minutes. The Wild scored 4 unanswered goals before Rickard Rakell, who's having a decent bounce-back year, got an early tally in the third period. Unfortunately, 2 separate 5-on-3 penalty kills by the Penguins shaved a lot of time off the clock for them to tie the game. I thought the team showed a little bit more energy last night, but that was probably in large part because a certain goaltender was back in town. With this loss, the Penguins' losing streak has extended to 6, and they have given up at least 4 goals in each of their last 7 games. Their overall record now on the season is 3-7-1, which is dead last in the Metropolitan Division and second to last in the league, barely better than the San Jose Sharks. At this point, it's a fool's dream to think that significant change is going to occur and that this team will go on a run to climb out of this early season hole. The Pens right now are way closer to possibly winning the draft lottery than contending for a playoff berth. It just might be time to accept that a dark time in Penguins hockey is here. Marc-Andre Fleury receives a heart-touching send-off in Pittsburgh. In yesterday's edition of the Steel City Sports Report, I said the outcome of last night's Wild Penguins game would be secondary to celebrating the legacy and career of Marc-Andre Fleury. Well, I will never be more right in making a statement for the rest of my life. The celebration of Fleury took place from before he even walked into the building till the Wild team bus left after the game. Flower was greeted by a giant number 29 flower display on the way to the visiting team locker room. When the 2 teams took warm-ups, there were no boos for the visiting team, only cheers for Fleury. Midway through warm-ups, Fleury and his 3 longtime Penguins teammates Chris Letang, Sidney Crosby, and Evgeny Malkin all took a picture together at center ice. This might be one of my favorite pictures of all time, as those 4 are the Mount Rushmore of my generation of Penguins hockey and my childhood heroes. From the first puck drop to the final horn, the chants of Fleury, Fleury, Fleury rang throughout PPG Paints Arena. One of the biggest ovations of the night was when the Penguins showed a video of some of Flower's greatest pranks. I'd also be in the wrong not to mention that the love for Fleury stretches to his retired teammates, as Max Talbot pranked Fleury before the Wild's morning skate yesterday. As the game was coming down to the wire and the Pens were trying to tie it up, Fleury sent us all down memory lane by robbing Lars Eller with a lunging upper body stop, looking all too familiar to his 2009 Cup-winning save. While the final seconds ticked off the clock, Penguins fans stood up and cheered for Fleury as he was victorious in his final game in Pittsburgh. The most beautiful moment of the night was Fleury being announced as the number 1 star of the game, and he skated over to hug his best friends Sidney Crosby and Chris Letang before taking his final skate around the ice, saluting the fans who love him so dearly. The emotional Fleury was pulled over to the side for an on-ice interview where he spoke his heart to the Pittsburgh fans. This was a second home for a long time. We had so many great memories, so many great people in the locker room throughout the years, and the fans obviously, and again tonight. I feel very fortunate. Thank you guys. I know those were some best years of my life. I really appreciate it, and it's so hard to say bye. Thank you so much. Thank you. Flower continued to hold back tears in multiple interviews off the ice as the love shown for him was overwhelming. There may never be a greater love story in Pittsburgh sports than between Penguins fans and Marc-Andre Fleury. It was truly a perfect night to celebrate the greatest goalie in Penguins history, and there will be more celebrations down the road when one day his number 29 takes its rightful place in the rafters of the Penguins arena. Once again, congratulations to Marc-Andre Fleury on a historic career. Merci, Flower, for all the unforgettable memories and all you have done for the Penguins, the fans, the city of Pittsburgh, and the game of hockey. Nous t'aimons. And finally, 4 players will officially be back for the Steelers in Week 10. The Pittsburgh Steelers are now officially on their bye week, and with that comes a time when players usually return from injury. Well, that is exactly the case with the Steelers, as reinforcements are coming in a big wave. Steelers beat reporter Nick Farabaugh posted on X Tuesday that the Steelers expect rookie center Zach Frazier, outside linebacker Nick Herbig, and running back Cordero Patterson all to return to action against the Washington Commanders in Week 10. Multiple Steelers have stepped up in the absence of these 3 players, but their additions will bring some stability to the roster. Also, let's not forget the addition of corner Cam Sutton, who was officially reinstated Tuesday from his suspension. With Sutton not being allowed in the Steelers building for the first 8 weeks of the regular season, it will be interesting to see how long it takes him to build up his stamina and chemistry with the team again. All 4 of these players will be needed for the Steelers to continue their success from the first 8 weeks of the season into the last 9 weeks of the season. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up a Wednesday edition of the Steel City Sports Report. Again, please be sure to like, comment, and share this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow with some more Pittsburgh sports news.